Well, good day, Israel Briefers, all the way from Sydney after a very, very long flight via Dubai. I am here. I am so jet lagged. I barely know what my name is, but I'm safe. I'm in gorgeous Sydney, ready to conference with WITSA Australia. Now, behind me is the city skyline. And I promise you, I will figure all these things out, like lighting and everything properly. I'm so jet lagged, but it has been quite a big news weekend, and I wanted to bring you the news. So if you're new to it, welcome. This is the Israel Brief with me, Rolene Marks, where I take a look at those top stories making the headlines in Israel every Monday to Thursday. Now, here it is really hot in Israel, and quite frankly, I'm glad to escape the heat for a little while. Today is day 584 since the 7th of October. We still have, as of this recording, 59 hostages being held captive by Hamas. And as I say to you every day, and until the last one is returned home, we want them home now. So let us take a look at the top story, and we actually begin with a very important hostage story. The last remaining living hostage, Edan Alexander, is expected to be released a little later today. In a release and in an agreement that was brokered directly between the Trump administration and Hamas, and as a gesture of goodwill to President Trump, Hamas will be releasing Edan. Now, he is just 20 years old. He was taken captive on the 7th of October. He is a soldier, and his parents, who had no idea this was happening, are on their way to Israel as we speak, along with the Trump administration's special envoy for the Middle East, Steve Witkoff. Now, President Trump called this a goodwill gesture, and he says this is part of a push to get the release of all the remaining hostages and an end to the war. Now, Israel has said that it is only because of the military pressure that this was able to be achieved. And Israel has said that we will guarantee a safe corridor for his release, but not a ceasefire. Israel has said they hope that this starts the negotiations according to the Witkoff framework, which Israel has already agreed to for the rest of the hostages. Meanwhile, Egypt and Qatar have welcomed this decision, and I tell you something, we couldn't be happier. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum also welcome this decision, but of course, we think of the now remaining 58 hostages who will be left behind. The release is scheduled to happen a little later Israel time. And speaking of remains, in an extraordinary operation carried out by the Mossad and the IDF deep inside Syria, Israel's defense forces were able to locate and return the remains of Tzvi Feldman, an Israeli soldier who has been missing since 1982, 43 years. He was returned home for a dignified burial yesterday. President Herzog and Prime Minister Netanyahu praised the Mossad and the IDF for their covert and deep intelligence and military operations all these times in Syria. And the Feldman family, who you can absolutely believe are elated, welcomed this news, saying it has closed a very painful circle. The IDF's Arabic spokesperson issued evacuation orders for 3 Houthi-controlled ports in Yemen. The IAF struck targets late last night in retaliation for a ballistic missile that was fired on Friday towards central Israel, sending millions of us running into our shelters. That ballistic missile was successfully intercepted. And finally, President Herzog landed in Germany early this morning amongst very heavy security. The president is in Germany, in Berlin, where he will meet with various German officials to mark 60 years of bilateral ties. And President Steinmeier will return to Israel along with President Herzog as a continuation of this cementing of relations between our two countries. So those are the top stories. I promise to keep it very short, mostly for my sanity because I'm so jet lagged. But I do have an audience question, and it comes from Emily in Cape Town, who says, Rolene, be honest, is Trump sending Israel down the river? Now, this is in response to the Trump administration holding talks about the Abraham Accords without including Israel. They've included Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Authority president, and some issues that many are starting to see is President Trump turning on Israel. One example is direct talks with Hamas. The other example is the acceptance of a new Air Force One from Qatar. Now, we know that Qatar are propagators of some of the grossest anti-Semitism. Now, putting an end to the rumors, the US ambassador to Israel, Ambassador Mike Huckabee, said that President Trump still loves Israel very, very much. We know that many Israelis were concerned about the Trump administration's direct negotiations with the Houthis, and the ambassador said, you know, the United States does not need Israel's permission to negotiate these ceasefires, and America does very much have an American first philosophy. However, my analysis and the analysis of several others, and feel free to disagree, I think President Trump is showing Israel some very, very tough love. We know that this is probably the last of the very, very pro-Israel administrations, at least for a long time. And I think the president is pushing Israel to learn how to stand on our own 2 feet without needing American backing. This is my assessment. Of course, I could be totally wrong, but I think this is a lesson in learn to be completely independent of the United States. This will hold you in good stead in the long run. So I hope that answers your question, Emily. And remember, if you have a question, please pop it in the comments section below. Meantime, guys, don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online, our Facebook page at Lotel Site, our YouTube channel is right here at the Israel Brief. We're on X at Lay of the Land 5, on Instagram at Rolene_Marks. And guys, this week I won't be posting the videos to LinkedIn. I've got a few technical issues, but everything will be back to normal as soon as I'm back in Israel. And I hope you've enjoyed our Israel Brief from Sydney. So guys, bye for now, and I will see you again tomorrow when hopefully I'm a lot more compass mentis. Take care. Bye for now.